Good evening, Podium Chasers. I hope you are all well. Well, welcome back. It's Friday evening, which means one thing and
Good
one
evening,
thing
Podium
only.
Chasers.
And that's... Oh, hold on a minute. I need to just do a quick sound check on that.
Welcome back. It's Friday evening.
There we go. We'll turn that one off. Yeah, Friday evening, which means one thing only. It is the pure SimGear GT3 Friday Championship, and as you can see on your screens, it's looking a little bit wet out there, really. We're at Nurburgring. This is round 3. The previous 2 Fridays have given us some absolutely epic racing, and I'm sure tonight will be no different at all. We're currently sat in free practice, so obviously we come on a little bit earlier on so we can run through the drivers' stats, where they are in terms of the table, how they got on previously. And there we go. So, Fresh Brizzle is in. Hello, Briz. How you doing, mate? Phone on YouTube and PS on Twitch. Perfect. How is the audio? Because last week the onboard cars were a little bit too loud. So if you could let me know, that would be great. And good evening to everyone else that has just joined us. So, as you will be aware, the format for this evening will be a 20-minute qualifying session once we have finish this free practice, and then we'll go into a full 60-minute race, 1 pit stop, and yeah, I think it's going to be very eventful this evening. Normally, if there's only 20 cars at the Nurbs, it can give us quite a few incidents and close racing. I think we've got 36 this evening. Again, you will see from the screen in front of you, the guys with the white box and their number, they are the pros, and in the red box with their number, they are in terms of the amateur class currently. So, I think we should, in a moment. Yeah, good. Thank you, Briz. Thanks for letting me know, mate. I'm always happy for you guys to shout at me and see what can be improved, but good to have you with us anyway. Don't forget to press like. I can see you already have. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a quick run through from last week. Brilliant race last week. In terms of the actual championship tables, though, if we have a look at the Pro class first, Velazzi is currently leading in his Bentley on 81 points. Obviously, he took a victory last week. Nachira is in second place in the Audi on 53 points. Had a really good race again last week, and then I think tyres started to go off, etc. Ended up finishing 4th, which was really unlucky. Chris Vining is currently 3rd in the championship. He is in an Aston Martin on tied actually, so he's joint 2nd on 59 points. Got himself a podium 3rd place last week. Keddy is 4th in the Porsche on 59 points. Zucchetti is 5th in the Bentley on 50 points, and Zucchetti and actually Ippolito, who is just below him in the championship in 6th place, they had a monumental battle last week, pretty much 40 minutes worth, and it was just nose to tail. If you haven't seen it, have a look on the channel, you know what to do. So Zucchetti is 5th on 50 points, Ippolito is 6th on 44 points. Then we've got Kerekes is 7th in the Bentley on 38 points. Amir is currently 8th in his Ferrari on 36 points, had a DNF last week, I think he got disconnected. Lee Muller is 9th in the BMW, also on 36 points. And then we've got David Newham in the McLaren on 31 points, Chris Carr in the McLaren on 30 points. And then we've got Kudasov in the Audi is currently 12th on 27 points. Sergio Oz is 13th on 25 points, finished 13th last week. The track don't think really suited him at all. Couldn't really seem to get any momentum running last week. And then in 14th place we've got Gardby in the BMW on 24 points. Tadima is in 15th place, also in a BMW on 16 points. And then we've got Cameron Martin in 16th, again also in a Beamer and also on 16 points. Ryan O'Sullivan finished 14th last week. Actually had some really good pace. I think he ended up with a couple of penalties last week. He's 17th on 12 points. Ferric Danix in the Ferrari is 18th currently on 10 points. Finished 16th last week. Tugberg is 19th in the Audi, 0 points. Didn't finish or didn't actually race last week. And Bertoncello is 20th at the moment with 0 points as well. So that brings you all up to date with the pro drivers. As we just maybe on board with Ryan at the moment. Yeah, so Ryan O'Sullivan, Furiously Mad Racing. We're going to watch him turn a couple of laps just whilst we go through the standings. Oh, did you, Briz? Interesting. So one of our FRL sort of one of our members, Fresh Brizzle, really fast guy, really good in the community as well. Actually, really nice chap to have involved. Saying that he used to actually race against Ryan on the PS. So give us some tips, Briz. How quick is he? Is he good? Obviously, you can't say it's bad because the whole world's watching. In terms of the AM drivers, wow, that is not looking too great actually. The AM drivers, the standings on there for some reason are not showing. It's just showing Zach Dow. So to bring you up to speed from memory in terms of the AM class, Zach Dow, is that why? Has he maybe moved? We'll have to figure that out. So in the AM class we've got Stretton, Delatour, always having a good race. Michael Van Ries, who obviously joined us on the podcast on Wednesday, which was a really nice surprise actually when I tuned into that one. Ojemets is in an Audi in the 21. Blanchett, who's obviously been racing with us over the last couple of weeks, is in the number 5 Ferrari. Vendeshoff got it right this week, first time, been practicing that since last Friday, in the 800 McLaren. Petrovic in the 69 Merc, and then we've got Pryor in the number 10 Aston, and Columbaro as well in an Aston. So they're the guys that are currently in. He was a lot faster than you. Well, who knows if he is now, mate. That's all I'm going to say. And Lurchies says as well, good evening, Lurchies. Glad you're with us, mate. I hope you've had a, an easier week at work. I know you spend hours and hours travelling the country helping companies sort things out. So I hope you're well, mate, as well. Okay, let's have a quick scoot at this. So we're at the Nerves, as we know. Let's change that. Put that on broadcast at the moment. Okay, so if we have a quick look at the timetable in terms of who has been setting decent lap times, you can see there Ryan O'Sullivan is actually top of that at the moment. He's done a 2-minute flat, which is pretty impressive given the conditions. And more interestingly, if you look at the splits, he doesn't actually have the quickest sector, which is amazing. We'll see if that comes to fruition during the race now. Right, I'm doing a little test here, Brizzle and Lurchies. I'm all good, mate, thank you very much. So I'm just going to go in car and tell me what the audio is like on there, if you will, please. 8 watching currently. Please say hello, don't be shy, let's get involved, let's see who is watching. Any shout outs, any questions, by all means, let me know. So, we've got about 5-6 minutes left of free practice and then we'll move into qualifying. It is a 20-minute qualifying session, and in that session basically what's going to happen is the AM guys are going to go out first, I believe. They get 10 minutes to set their laps, and then the pro guys come out and they set their laps, so they get 10 minutes each. Obviously we don't want to jumble up the grid for qualifying because that will cause chaos in terms of people's pace and maybe ruining other individuals' laps, and yeah, that's a nightmare. So we do the 10 minutes each as you would get in real world. But I'm wondering what the weather's actually going to do tonight. I never look before we start this because I don't want to have too much additional information. So I wonder if it's going to continue to rain or if the weather's going to back off a little bit, because you do find that sometimes between sessions the weather does change. We'll have to see if that happens this evening. So this individual this evening who we're looking at the moment, Mr. David Newham, I'm sure he is watching in the Traction Dave Academy in the 15 McLaren. You can see you're not going to miss her. She's quite bright there with that livery. I think Dave's running a brand new setup in his room today, which I'm quite excited about. You know, we all get a bit geeked out on this, don't we, in terms of our equipment, and I think he's going for a fully fledged stream setup today, so I will be having a look at that after the race. So I hope that all goes well for you, Dave. I'm sure that it will. How many cars? I believe we've got 36 in this evening. Let me just go and double check on the Discord in terms of check-ins. Make sure you've got all the information that you need. Brizzle says, hope he spins. That was said with affection, everybody, trust me. Yeah, we're just trialing, well, I say trialing, we've been talking about this for quite a long time within FRL, and we've launched it this week. So obviously when you're racing, you can team up with somebody as your little teammate and all those bits. But we've actually doing something a bit different at the moment. We've just set up, I think we've got seven teams have been set up with a team manager. Obviously we do a lot. We do a lot of race series across PC and across the PlayStation on 4s and 5s. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sundays. I think Saturday, and Saturdays there's a lot of stuff going on PCs. So we set teams up so that we can have individuals racing throughout the week under a team banner, and the chat that's going on at the moment with that, it's actually really exciting, and surprisingly, no one's had to get involved like a school teacher and tell everybody where they should be. Everyone's kind of split themselves up nicely in terms of skill levels. I think if that works well, you may see something like that over here, because it could look good. Anyway, in terms of what is actually happening right now over here, let's just have a little look-see. So, Dave's sat in the pits at the moment. Let's get back. And let's actually have a look at who is setting some quick time. So, Ryan's out at the moment. Let's have a look at Ryan. So, he's currently top of the pile with a 2-minute flat. Hasn't improved on that yet. Stratton, who is in the AM class, is only 1.35 behind. And then we've got Chris Carr. Now, Chris Carr's in the Pro class, as you can see. Wasn't in the Pro class previously. I believe he was in the AM class, and he was having some absolutely epic battles with Zach Dell. Now I can't see him in the grid yet, so I'm wondering if he's also moved up onto the Pro class, because their pace, I mean, they were mid-pro in terms of qualifying pace, and in the race they weren't far off that. They would definitely mix it in that category, which I think is a smart move to move them up. Maybe they're giving away an easier championship potentially there, but they should be in amongst the people they should be racing against. Yes, Briz is in the Grass Cutters team. I know that, mate. I was having a look. Dave says, "Evening, Cooper. How? I'm very well. I'm very well, Dave. Are you using your full setup? Please tell me. Please tell me." As Ryan decides to pull over. Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left, I think. 2 minutes left on this one. And then we shall get fully involved with the qualifying session. I might just make a little change, actually. Just bear with me 1 second, folks. Let's just have a quick look at this. Don't want that. We'll have session info on, just so we've got a little bit more information on screen for you guys to see. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, so there you go. Just over a minute left of free practice. I'm really looking forward to this. I think, you know, you throw... Oh, Dave's going to be done next week. Oh, Dave... He needs some screws to make... Oh, second monitor. I get it. He's going big or going home. Fantastic. We've got 8 watching at the moment. Guys, all do me a favour, please. Just hit that like button. It takes half a second. Really helps the channel. Makes me know I'm not just sat here talking to myself and a couple of you guys driving before you actually get out there. So that would be great. If you could do that, please. 30 seconds to go. I did pop into the practice server earlier on, and there was quite a few individuals in there, and I think, I mean, setup's got to be so key this evening. We will obviously do a full lap ride when we get into qualifying, as we do every week. But in terms of the times you've got there, you've got a right mixture already in terms of the AMs and the pro guys, and that may just purely be down to setup. We don't know how much all these individuals have, have practiced. We don't know how much they've had exposure to this track. And what type of setups they've actually got on. Do they have anything set up for the wet, or is it just going to be the default wet? Who knows? That's the beauty of it. Let's get P1. no pressure at all. And thank you for that extra like, I really appreciate that. So we could come off that at the moment. So let's have a look at who did what during free practice just whilst we're in the wait time. So O'Sullivan was top, and then you got Stratton, which is fantastic in that, in the AM. Ferrari there, not too far behind, only just over a tenth behind. Chris Carr in the McLaren, we know Chris is quick, he's under 2/10 behind. And then we've got Tadima in the BMW, another 3/10 down the road. So the top 6 at the moment are covered by half a second. Then you've got a further second gap back to Van Vries, who again is an amateur. He's a second off the pace. Then there's another bit of a gap back to Martin, who's a pro in the 27 Beamer. So I think somebody, quoted earlier on, somebody did definitely quote earlier on in the paddock, we'll say that, I mean Discord, but in the paddock earlier on someone was saying they're not bothered about lap times today, this race is going to be about survival. And to be fair, it's not a bad shout really, it's not a bad shout at all. Lurchy says that he's got his new motherboard today, getting that CPU up, graphics card, nice. So soon he's hoping to be able to race without it being like Minecraft. Well, that's good. Okay, so there we go. And we've got some lovely messages going on there within the guys, all wishing each other luck, which is always good to know. So the AM guys are going to be first out as expected. And we will of course keep our eye on all of that action. And I'd also like to say a good evening to James. Is Williams in, or was he doing stewarding tonight? I'm not too sure what he's doing there. But... So who've we got out? A Lambo's on its way out. We've got to go and have a quick look at that person. Castillo, right, let's get on board with Castillo. Actually, let's have a look at Michael, as Michael was our special guest on the podcast on Wednesday evening. If you haven't seen that, guys, I know there's a lot going on in the PC world. I think we provide quite a lot of that, actually. But we do have a podcast that goes out, the FRL cast, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock on the Twitch channel. So, yeah, check that out. We're always getting people involved from both sides, from PC and from the PlayStation. So it'll be always good to see more people in there. Right, let's close that one down for a moment and concentrate on Mr. Van Ries. See how he's getting on. I did actually, it's pretty good timing as we come up towards the NGK chicane there. So also as part of what we do within FRL, we're always looking for ways to improve, ways to help everybody, be more inclusive, help people develop. So we do have some driver coaches. I believe we've also got one coming off the PC as well, which is fantastic. There's always loads of bits going out on YouTube for all the drivers. But I am actually doing a new series on my COMMS by Coops channel, which is called Coops Cars. And the last episode I put out was episode 10, and was actually in the McLaren. So any of you sort of experienced eagle-eyed PC individuals, feel free, have a little look. They're only bite-sized, sort of 3.5 minutes long, just giving my views on things. So it'd be good to get your view as well on that. Anyway, enough of plugging my stuff. We're on a quick lap at the moment with Michael. We'll let this one run through and then we'll move in and do a full lap drive. So I know you guys are all itching to know where can I improve? Where can I improve? Hopefully it stays dry. I don't think it will, Dave. I don't think it's going to stay dry, mate, if I'm totally honest with you. Okay, up towards the Schumacher S's. Again, as a car, I said in the video, we saw some rather quick corrections going on there by Michael, so that was good reflexes to catch her. Yeah, and she's very temperamental. I mean, we know she's dialed in, she's absolutely amazing, but the fact that she is mid-engined, rear-wheel drive, very aero-dependent, skittish, hates bumps, you know, she is a difficult car to dial in, but as everybody professes, once she is dialed in, she is absolutely rapid. So we are trying qualifying. Okay, I'm really trying to do that. There's probably going to be a thunderstorm in the race. Anyway, Michael's going to come across the line to set the first time of the session at 1:57.697. Okay, so on our way down into turn 1, we're looking for the 100 board on the left-hand side. We're going to get on the brake slightly before that, trail all the way in. We're going to be tight on this curb here, so apex there. Then we're going to squeeze the throttle up to second gear, middle of the road to the right. Then we're going to back off slightly. Just going to wait till about there, and then we're going to hook up the power again. Use all the exit curve on the right hand side, then trail into this one into first gear. Really important, you can lose a lot of time in this section. Squeeze the throttle up to second, off, and then we're going to squeeze on again and push out to the left hand side, not going too far because we don't want to invalidate. And we're going to pull across onto the right hand side where those cones used to be. There's your braking point, down into third. You're not taking too much speed off there because you're back on the accelerator, then you're hard on the brakes again into second, and you just wait. As soon as you feel the car grip up, you're back on the power, using all of the curb on the left hand side. Then we've got the sprint down towards the hairpin. You're going to see some great curbing here. Right about now we're going to get onto the brakes, trail all the way in. You can take this as a V, you can take it as a U. That's totally up to you. You need to be on the power early to set yourself up in the run up towards the Schumacher S's. Off the power, dab, and then straight back on the power again. A little bit of curb on the left hand side, on the right, drift towards the left. Don't take too much curb there. And then when we've got the Astro here, we're on the brakes into second gear. Really important to hook up that curb on the left hand side to drag the car around, and then we're going to just down change. We're going to wait. There's a little bit of the curb that sticks out, there's a little white patch on the curb there, and that's your acceleration point. Punch it there all just before, and you get a really good run all the way down up towards the NGK chicane, looking for the between the 100 and 50 board, down to third, throw it in on the power now. That's it, use all the curb on the outside, and then we're going to let the brakes nice and early, trail in. We want to hook that up tight and then squeeze the throttle on. So Michael's done a good job on that. Let's see if he improves on this lap. He does, puts it up into second place. So that was a fantastic lap, Michael. So who else? So Delatour, let's see what kind of time he can set. Let's just come out of that for a moment. So you can see there's an awful lot goes on around the Nurbs. It's a busy track, as you can imagine. So Kiel is currently setting the pace with a 56.355. Then Petrovic is second at the moment in the 69 Merc, 3 tenths behind almost. Vindashoff is third, 3.5 tenths. And then Michael, as we've just watched his lap, is currently, well, he's now dropped to 5th, half a second down. Stratton is 6th, a second off the pace. Delatour, who we're currently watching at the moment, in the 26 Aston, is 1.3 off the pace. Blanchett is 8th. Colombaro is 9th, 2 seconds off the pace. Only 400ths behind is Adam in the 777 Lexus. So we've got some interesting timings coming up at the moment on the screen, and then we've got Pryor in the 10 Aston is 2.3 behind. Ogimet in the Audi is 2.6. Kuhn in the 555 Lexus is 3.3 behind. And is that a Weaponar? That is a great name. Weaponar is 14th. Again, if I pronounce any of these names incorrectly, as it's potentially your first time in the server, don't be shy. Send me a DM and say, Coops, get it right, my friend. And we'll go from there. Right, so we have got 10 watching at the moment. Good evening. You find us in qualifying for round 3 of the Pure Sim Gear GT3 Friday session here at the Nurburgring. So we've got the AMs out at the moment. They obviously get the first 10 minutes of qualifying, and then we will move into the Pro category. Let's go on board with Wilhelm in his Porsche STHN Racing. In he's currently second at the moment. He's only 2.5 tenths. Let's go on board with him. And let's see how that Porsche is behaving around the track. 1 minute and 35 left of this qualifying session. So obviously, if you've crossed when the checkered flag drops and someone's leaving cones all over the shop, When the checkered flag drops, obviously you can complete that lap if you've already started it. If you can't, well, pits for you. Keel, so Keel currently still with the quickest time, only 600s behind in Stratton. If you remember, Stratton was actually second in free practice across the entire grid, which was more than impressive. So we'll see if Wilhelm can improve. Bendischoff goes potentially third in class at the moment, just under 2 tenths down, and goes into the pits. Roger Metz also decides to pit in the Audi, so that's probably the end of his session. He's currently in 11th in class, and that's where we're at in terms of movers at the moment. We'll see how this goes. Well, that's got to be invalid. Wow, he had to catch that one, didn't he? Certainly did. Understeer, oversteer. Porsche, oh dear. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it does look like the Joker's car. Georgie Priest is in. Hello, Georgie. Hope you're well, my friend. Traction. Dave Newham has got himself a little fan club this evening, which is quite nice to see. So on the run up towards the Schumacher S's, little lift. You see the steering wheel there. You could feel. Well, I can feel watching it. I could feel that the back end wanted to step on him slightly there. So there was a tiny little correction on the steering to the right, just to catch that. And again, so that's how you know you're really on the edge of adhesion. You know, you're taking as much speed as you can through those corners, but you're having to do slight little corrections just to keep her moving in the right direction. So that's impressive. So Kiel is quickest with a 55.6. Van Riese's just gone quicker as well. He's up to potential second place. So this qualifying session has finished. These guys can all complete their laps. Stratton is currently third, Vendischoff fourth, Blanchet is fifth, Wilhelm Wilmith at the moment is sixth, Petrovic seventh, Kamara eighth, still out on a lap, Playa is ninth. Where's Wilhelm going to go? He moves himself up to fourth place. Well done to you. Right. So, letters. Oh, that's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Dave Newham. Now, Michael Races will probably want to shout at me now and say it's Newham. It may be Newham, but with my accent, Newham, whatever. So you can see we've got some of the chaps are quite closely packed at the moment. Now, Helicam, again, guys, please let me know. Hello, Tro. I hope you're well. Let's go, David. Clap, clap, clap. Yes. Indeed, I told you Michael would be in shouting at me. Please let me know what the audio is like this week. Briz has given me a thumbs up. Anybody else wants to make any comments on that, please let me know. I did make some adjustments earlier on, and hopefully that will work well. Paul, how you doing, mate? How's the actual racing going, buddy? I saw you've been involved in some of the late night races. Good to. And what team are you in? Come on, tell us if you've joined them. So, Dave pulls over. He wants to get himself a good exit. So let's ruin his night and get on board, shall we? No pressure at all. If you're listening, Dave, it needs to be a world record. Okay, so the pros are now starting their fast laps. The AMs have finished their session. Yeah, I haven't decided to leave. I just wanted to have a little listen to those down changes. Oh. So she's proven to be a little bit of a handful already. I think he'll probably find she can quicker on lap 2. It's going to give those tyres an extra lap to get in the window, to be fair. David Dangleham. Yeah, that's a fantastic name, Michael. I think I'm gonna christen him that this evening. If he wins this race, yeah, we'll call him David Dangleham. And Grizz would agree with me. Yeah, see, that's what it is. You think he's got a lap record coming up? We'll see. This one isn't going to be a lap record. I'm pretty confident of that. I'm not saying it's not going to be a fast time, and maybe a half decent banker, but I mean, he looks like he's fighting them a little bit. I believe we ended up in first gear there. So Dave's trying to absolutely wring the neck out of that McLaren. He's got Chris Carr, who's also in a McLaren. And who's in front of him? So Tadima is in front in the BMW. That's definitely going to be invalid, that one. Okay, so maybe I should come away from Dave because I'm making him nervous. James Williams, everybody. We all know James Williams, our esteemed Welsh leader. I mean, I'm not Welsh, he's not my leader, but I'm sure James wanted to be driving this evening because he's no doubt enjoyed all of the coverage I've given him, for a pay rise, which he knows about, just hasn't confirmed it yet. I suppose it depends on what happens on Monday. But James is doing the live stewarding tonight, so Hangman Dow is not with us this evening, which you will all be very pleased to know, but James Williams, the boss, is doing the live stewarding, so please behave yourselves, because I've heard he likes to throw a few penalties around. Yeah, that's what I've heard anyway. So, but he says everyone else is enjoying themselves. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're building this for people to enjoy themselves, which I hope they do. I better actually get back and have a look at some of these lap times at the moment. So, Chris Carr is up in 15. Baron TV 1. So, Alfie Barron, Eclipse Racing Esports. First time I've had the pleasure of commentating on Alfie. I have heard on the grapevine that he might be a little bit fast. So we'll certainly find out, and we'll see if he does manage to eclipse the field. Obviously, that's why his team is called Eclipse. It's all subliminal, guys. It always is. So Alfie's setting the pace at the moment with a 1:55.280. Keel's time is still standing in second place. Remember, he was in the AM class. Lean Monarch is currently third, 3 and a bit tenths behind. Same time as Keel, actually. Again, I think that's the fourth time in a row that I've been doing live comms that we've had two exact same times in qualifying. Tadima in his Beamer is fourth. Vilazzi is currently fifth, so he's just under half a second behind. O'Sullivan is sixth. Remember, he led the free practice. He was first place in the free practice session. Nachira there, he is 8th overall, 7th in class. Suchetti, those two are nice and close again. Amir is in 10th, 8 tenths off the pace. I'm sure he's going to want to improve on that, as so Alfie's in second. So Vilazzi takes Vilazzi's driven splendidly over the last two weeks. I have to say I've been very impressed, and again, making a case for it, goes provisional pole with a 54.910, and Amir then puts in a quicker lap, and he is only 1.75 off the pace. Barron is third, Chichetta fourth, O'Sullivan, Leemuller, Kerikes puts his Bentley up into 7th currently. We've got just over 3 minutes left to qualifying. Machir is 11th, Chris Vining is 12th in his Aston Martin, 1.3 off the pace, and then we've got, so that was Vining, then we've got Martin, who's currently 15th overall. Dave Newham is 16th, 1.5 off the pace. Whitehouse is 17th in the 176 Aston, just over 1.5. And then we've got Garby in the BMAC. Chris Carr is currently 21st, 1.6 off the pace. So Amir is in the pits. Vilazzi is out there. Let's see what Alfie can do. I'm sure he wants that position back. 2.5 minutes left. I think they've just about got enough time if they want to come out and do another quick one. We'll have to wait and see. Team Grasscutter as well. Excellent. And Lurchies has been kind and joined James's team. I think he's after a pay rise as well. But it says Alfie Barron is a machine. Well, we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to see, Lurchies, just how much of a machine Mr. Barron actually is. Although I am sure I did pop in and have a look at a PC race quite a while ago, just not long after we first started up on the PC side. And I think we were at Suzuka, and Alfie was like, he was easily 2 seconds quicker than the rest of the field. And I mean, if not more, actually. His lap times were crazy compared to everyone else, but obviously people have had a lot of time to practice, haven't they? So, and there you go. That's what we're talking about. So Alfie crosses the line and goes provisional pole with a 1:54.422. That's almost 4/10 quicker than Velazzi. So let's have a look and see if Velazzi can reply. I'm sure he's desperate to. And now Alfie's probably listening to the stream thinking, I told you, COMMS. I've showed you what I'm all about. Now just let's get out there and race. And we'll see, shall we? So Machira finds himself in third. Again, these are very familiar names that we're saying in terms of the top part of the field. Velazzi, Machira, Amir, Zucchetti. O'Sullivan was quick last week. So Limal is 6th, O'Sullivan 7th. Kerekes is currently in 8th. Keel, his time in the AMS is still holding up very, very strong in 9th. Tadima is 10th. Carr is in the pits, he's 11th. Then we've got Vining 12th, Gardby's 13th. And then further down, overall 17th, we've got Martin, Newham and Whitehouse currently. I'm sure there are plenty of others. So we've got 15 seconds left of this qualifying session. It's probably the time for everyone to complete those laps at the moment. I've got a message from James, oh no. What's he saying? Hangman's playing golf. Oh yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah, Dal decided to give up his stewarding duties this evening and go and play some golf. Don't know why he would do that, to be honest. Right, Velazzi, what's he going to do as he crosses the line? Did he improve? No, he didn't, but him and Nachira, look at that. They're going to share second place. We had this the other day with Crazies and Michael Races actually sharing a pole position, something I've never seen before, but happened. And again, we've now got 2 of the top 3 have decided to share a place. Just have a quick look at the live chat for a second. GT Jamie's in. Team Red Kings, come on Dave. Amir's rapid as well. There's a pleasure to watch, that's for sure. They are all a pleasure to watch, Lurchies, and it is amazing how much we can learn. So qualifying is in the wait time. Who is still out? Amir is still out. Let's see if he can snatch away pole position. So best times are 55 flat, as you can see. Got quite a bit to make of. No doubt he's going to throw everything at it in that Ferrari. We'll see what the outcome is. Gardby's still running behind him as well, and then we'll do a run through of how things stand. What's Amir going to do? Amir does improve probably by about a 10th from his previous best, so he puts himself up into 4th spot and drops it in the pits. Where's Tadima? He's still running. There he is. Let's have a look. This is coming up to the final corner. So, the grid. Well, let's see Tadima finish. Oh, Dipolito hasn't settled up yet, so that could be quite interesting as well. Tadima moves himself up to 8th place. That's an excellent improvement of Dipolito there. Wow. He was just saving it, wasn't he? Just saving it. I think that was probably his first half decent lap, and bosh. Straight up into 4th. Well done you. Well done you indeed. So let's come away from that. So there is your grid for round 3. Alfie Baron, well, of course it's going to do that. It always loves to do that. It looks pretty dark, doesn't it? It does indeed. It's very dark. Right, we'll have a look like that. I'm sure you guys can hear me properly today, so that's all good. Yeah, there's your grid. So Alfie Baron's on pole position. Excellent time from him. I think he's got about 4/10 in the bag, really. Velazzi starts alongside him in 2nd, and then he shared that 2nd position, actually, with Dechira. Did exactly the same qualifying time. Dipolito pops up into 4th place. Has been pretty, not pretty, I don't know if he's pretty or not, has been sort of pretty anonymous, really, in terms of what I've watched so far, the second half of free practice and qualifying, but obviously has some pace in that Porsche. Amir's 5th, Zucchetti is 6th, Lee Muller 7th, Gardby will start from 8th place, Tadima is in 9th, O'Sullivan, remember, led all of free practice, and that was in the wet, so that might be something in his locker should the weather change. Is 10th, Vining is 11th in his Aston, Kerekes 12th, and then in 13th place we've got the first AM runner, Keel, and then we've got Mr. Carr is 14th, Martin is 15th. Camara is 16th. Whitehouse 17th. Let me go on to there. I need to change that. Camara 17th. 16th. Whitehouse 17th. Stratton's 18th. Michael Van Vries is 19th. Then we've got Dave Newham is 20th. Vilheim 21st. Kudasov is 22nd. Vendishov is 23rd. Blanchett 24th. Petrovic will start in 25th. Pryor's going to be in 26th. Sergio Oz again finds himself right in the middle of the AMS, and he is in the pro class. He's 27th. Delatour 28th. Adam is 29th. Ojamets is 30th. Columbaro 31st. Ian Thompson 32nd. Kuhn is 33rd. Weaponar is 34th. Castillo 35th. And Zachdow. Well, why is Zachdow all the way down there? And there you go. So just managed to get through all of those beautiful people. And we can... Oh, look at that. 5 seconds to go. So remember, we've got an hour's race. There will be a mandatory pit stop. If you haven't been with us before, welcome. This is round 3 of the Pure Sim Gear GT3 Friday session at the Nurburgring. Looking pretty dark, looking quite gloomy. It was definitely wet in free practice. The gods were kind in qualifying and kept that session completely dry, so allowed them to set some decent times. The weather radar said the next sort of 15 minutes will be dry. I think anything can change on this one, so I think we're going to be treated, without a doubt. A formation lap, massively important. Get the heat in those tyres and pressures. Let's get everything in the window. We know the Nurbs is a very flowing circuit. You know, we've got some very high-speed corners. You've got a lot of mid-speed corners as well, which is probably the key to doing well at the Nurbs, is making sure you keep that momentum, keep that pace. There are plenty of places to overtake, so I'm looking forward to it. Right, let's have a quick look in the live chat. That's who's saying what. Michael says, can't wait to be amongst these guys. Epic camera angles, so much better looking on PC. Am I? Thank you, Michael. You are so kind. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is good, mate. It's absolutely amazing. Right, I hope you're all ready, because I am. Again, one mandatory stop. So you'll see where you've got the driver numbers, you've got that little gold, orangey one. That means there's one mandatory stop to complete. When they've done that stop, it will go green, and that means they are then good to race through until the end. So we don't have long to wait, which is fantastic news. It is dark, isn't it? I'd say I did some comms on Monday for our Mixed Monday League on the PS5, and it was a night race at Mazzano, and the GT3 cars were struggling to see, and the GT4 cars, I mean, their light, it's not even worth having lights on their cars. It was ridiculous. You couldn't see at all. How these guys were pumping in the lap times are really, you know, you've got to take your hats off to everybody that is partaking in this and the other races. The skill levels are pretty high, so, well, better high. Plays better on PC as well. Just ordered. Okay, so Lurches is giving Michael a rundown on the fact that he's getting himself ready. I'm ready as well. Are you guys ready? James, are you ready? That's the question, because you might be a bit busy, which I'm sure you can't wait to do. So what they're thinking at the moment, Alfie, what's he thinking? How's he going to attack the first sector of the track? What's Velazzi thinking? You know, the cheer out. We know all these guys have got pace. We've been watching them for a couple of weeks now. We know who the main protagonists, I feel, are going to be in terms of the top 6. And I'm sure Dipolito and Zucchetti are really looking forward to getting their battle, their weekly duel, back on track, so to speak. Yes, Lurchies, let's go! Okay, and we're off. Here we go. So, underway at the Nurbs. Good luck, boys, as we go into turn 1. Oh, come on. Who was that? So, that's 50. That was Nachira. Okay, so we've got absolute chaos at the start of this race. Down into turn 1, it looked like Nachira. Hold on, I want to play that again. Right, let's have a look at a replay. We just missed it. We just missed that bit. I forgot I had the replay function. Apologies. We'll have to use that more next week. So anyway, the race is obviously in full flight now. That was really unfortunate. So Martin's got himself a drive-through from 14th place. So that's certainly interesting. So we've got here and Pericles currently under yellow flag. So they've obviously had an incident somewhere, which is also pretty unfortunate. So we do find ourselves Polito again. Remember, we were saying he was fairly anonymous in the practice sessions, and certainly in the first part of qualifying, popped up into 4th place. He is definitely the winner out of that. Incident-packed T1, which I thought might happen, but was hoping wouldn't. I know everyone's keen, but you've got to remember fuel loads and Alfie Barron. Look at that, Alfie Barron's all over the back of him there. That looks like a pretty good move. A slight little door bang there, but nothing too bad, as Alfie's setting himself up. We know he's got pace, but he was pole sitter, and Zucchetti is in 3rd. I think Zucchetti just wants Barron out of the way, really, so he can have his own little scrap with Dipolito as usual. So Lehman is up to 4th, Vining's up to 5th, Tadema's 6th, Carr is 7th at the moment, Amir finds himself down in 8th, so he evidently got caught up in that T1 incident. Camara has moved himself up to 9th and is currently leading the AM class, but Keel is just behind him in 10th. So those two are very, very close. So let's have a look at Keel. Looks like that move. Well, he's just trying to get that move done. That looks like David. So Dave Newham has just managed to get past Keel. So he's put himself up into 9th place. So he's gained a couple of places there, which is always good. And Alfie's still continuing to harass Dipolito. Look like they're breaking away slightly. As we have a look from outside that beautiful McLaren. I bet Dave's wishing we were watching his beautiful McLaren. I'm sure we will be towards the end of this race, Dave. No doubt. So Zucchetti, he's 3.5 tenths back. Lee Muller's 4th, and then we've got a big gap back there to Chris Carr from Chris Vining. So 5th and 6th, we've got a 4-second gap back there. Alfie, well, he wants a piece, doesn't he? Let's get on board. Is he going to try and dive up the inside the hairpin? No, thinks better of it, but he showed his nose enough. Oh, that's defensive, and that was going to happen all day long. Dipolito looked like he'd gone slightly deep into the hairpin there, obviously trying to cover off the pace that Barron was bringing through. You can see Barron clearly had the inside line. I wouldn't say he squeezed, he was taking his racing line, and Dipolito obviously wanted to cover that off. And again, from where we're sitting, certainly from where I'm sitting, you could see that love tap was going to happen all day long, unfortunately. So we've got more changes on the grid. Obviously that hasn't updated there. So Barron is currently 1st. Chetty moves himself up now into 2nd place. Lee Muller, wow, Lee Muller's all over the back end. Chris Vining, look at him. Remember last week we coined that Aston the Blue Zebra. So we'll continue with that. We're going to change every week. Sorry, Chris, if you don't like that. But yeah, he's looking to put some pressure on Lee Muller at the moment. And as you can see, just in front, Lee Muller is doing exactly the same thing. How are they seeing? We've got a nice train of 4 cars there. So Zucchetti, Lee Muller and Vining all pretty close as they go into turn 1. We're just looking at Lee Muller at the moment in the 984. Fuffzig Racing, fabulous name, Sebastian. I love that. Not Sebastian, your team name. Right. So what's happening a little bit further down a bit? Look at that. Look at Keel. Right, we'll just go heli for a moment, see if we can find the cars behind. It's not going to give that option. The track looks beautiful at night, I've got to say. Michael and Lurches are chatting in the live chat about what organs are people going to have to sell to buy certain graphics cards. Both arms and legs, Lurches are saying. Yeah, Dave's doing well. Michael's obviously a spotter, so he's going to keep me posted whilst I don't bother watching him. So 20th to 9th so far. I think he's angling for driver of the day already. But we shall see. We shall see what happens out there. So Lee Mollett is putting on a lot of pressure, isn't he, on the back of Zucchetti. It's a whole different skill set, night driving. It really is. You know, I know it sounds daft. Obviously, you can't see as much, but it makes spotting those braking points, turning points, acceleration points even more important. So your spatial awareness and what's going on around you has to be, well, it has to be on point, really. Let's have a look at Keel. Let's go on board with him. Remember, Keel was pole position in the AM class. Currently finds himself in second place in the AM class, but he is just behind Camara, who is 6th overall. I know we had that incident in T1, which probably involved about 4 cars, as, well, his car in the McLaren in front, you saw him getting all out of shape there as we were going into Coca-Cola curve, kicking up the dirt, and that's obviously going to slow him down through the corner, give him some dirty tyres, and allow Camara and Keel to both advance on him down the main straight. Looks like Carrequez just made a move there, so Dipolito finds himself down in 10th place. Remember, was first after that issue, qualified 4th, is now in 10th, so a bit of a rescue job from him, potentially, at the moment. But, well, let me have a look further down the grid. So, Ryan and Nachira. Okay, so Dipolito and Nachira obviously involved in that in T1. They find themselves down in 10th and 11th. And we've got Ryan O'Sullivan all over the back of them. So let's have a look at Ryan. Good time to join that action. I think we've got a nice four-way battle going on here. So, let's change that angle. Oh, well, it's not a four-way battle, is it? It looks like an 8, 6, 7, 8-way battle at the moment. You see them all filing through there into the hairpin. Again, we've got some extremely close racing every week so far. You know, I keep saying it, the standard of racing is so high. Yeah, I know there is going to be little incidents here and there. That's racing, unfortunately. You know, we're all humans. We all do make little mistakes or get a little bit overexcited sometimes. And but other than that, I mean, look at the splits at the moment. It's all 0 point, 0 point, 0 point. You know, we've got some really close racing going on here. So Ryan's getting pretty close to the back of Nachira's Audi. So you've got 2 cars here who are obviously both very, well, they're independent, aren't they? Let's be honest. They do what they want, pretty much, and you have to fight against that and tame them. More so than other cars on the grid. We've seen last week Nachira was having, oops, a daisy. That was a very good catch there from O'Sullivan. Obviously took a lot of speed through. And that back end, she didn't want to stay, but he collected that nicely. It's going to have lost him a tenth or two, as Alfie Barron sets the quickest lap of the race at 57.342. So he's currently holding the fastest lap at the moment. Where is Mr. Where? Oh no, where is he? Where's Dave gone? So Ian Thompson, Velazzi's ended up down in 18th now. That is not great, to be honest with you. And then Kubasov is 19th, Wilhelm is 20th, Amir is 21st, Delatour 22nd, Columbaro is 23rd, Castillo's 24th, Dave's now down in 25th, so he's obviously had an incident somewhere. Let me go to the live chat. I'm sure my spotter will let me know what's happened. He's done a Dave. Dave's dead. He's done a Dave. That's it. That's it, Jamie. That's his new phrase. It has to be. He's done a Dave. Him and Amir just dropped, so maybe they had an incident. Well, who knows? But all my word, you saw Nachira got all completely out of shape there, massively out of shape, and Ryan obviously was carrying a lot more pace, had a much cleaner exit from the Schumacher S's there, but because Nachira's, as we said before about the back end on that Audi, obviously he wasn't in control in terms of keeping the speed up, but he was trying to gain control of the car. He was fighting with that, and that left O'Sullivan really with nowhere left to go. And they did enjoy a little love tap there, so that is unfortunate. It dropped him right down to 21st. On board of Ian Thompson at the moment in the 55 McLaren in the AM series, currently 5th in class, 6th in class probably then by looking at that. looks like he's having to wrestle her a little bit. He's got Velazzi all over the back of him, which remember, Velazzi is one of our quickest GT3 guys, obviously at the back of the field due to some incidents at the start there, so he's trying to make his way back through, and Ian is just trying to hold him off. In the Balf Motorsport car, last lap was a 2-minute 2:55, and look at him, he's got GT3s in the Pro class swarming all over the back of him in his rear view mirror there. Velazzi makes the move stick, but very, very quickly behind him, Kudisev from the 444 Audi, well, he's in a limited class as well. You've got to remember, you know, the points that are on offer here, we need to go on to that, don't we? Because Zucchetti, oh, that's not right, that gave him a different split there. So Zucchetti is in second place, Lean Muller is still in third, so he's keeping hold of them two, he's only under half a second behind. Interesting one that is developing at the moment. I do quite like this view in the car, but then it always it makes my eyes go weird, because if I'm in the car, I want to be in the car. Yeah, I don't, you know, I want to actually see it from the driver's point of view. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? It's like a movie. Good view, that. I like it. You can actually see, I like this view, you can see all the movement that's going on Zucchetti's Bentley. Oh, Zucchetti goes a little bit deep there. Maybe he took a little bit of extra speed in, missed his braking point whilst he was passing that other vehicle, and that was pretty close. Look, you can see how the bumps are affecting the car. So he's got a slip. Zucchetti moves out to the right to go defensive into T1. Who's going to brake last? Who's going to take the speed in and get the apex? Well, we knew a switcheroo was coming all day long there. Liam Muller, fantastically executed, gets that move done on Zucchetti. Can he hold it through turn 3 and this really tight complex? We're going to find out in a minute. Are we going to see? No, I don't think he has got it, because you can see the lights next to us on the left hand side. So Zucchetti tries to take that back. Liam Muller keeps the inside line going through the next turn, and these two have now got themselves a little drag race. What a fantastic little race this is. Little drag race down towards the hairpin, and Chris Vining in the blue Zebra Aston, he's come to join the party as well. So again, we are being treated as always. We have got a 4-way fight there. We're only 12 and a half minutes into the race. We've got some fantastic racing going on. I hope all of you lot are really enjoying this at the moment. Any comments, give me a shout. So this is the scrap for second, third and fourth place essentially. Keel's in 5th. What a great run from him at the moment. He's in the AM class. He's running first in class, but 5th overall. And then we've got Chris Carr in the 104. So is that Chris there? It is, I believe, isn't it? Yeah. So Chris is just trying to get on the back of these three. And that will obviously, well, oh dear, and Lee Muller just again, you know, they're under a lot of pressure, aren't they? You've got to think, you've got guys all around them. You've got a 4-way fight there. So situational awareness, how we're controlling that car is really key, and Lee Muller's Beamer is going pretty slowly at the moment, so that's not going to be the best news for him, certainly. So on board with Zucchetti, still in second place. Alfie, let's have a quick look at him. Mr. Barron is, well, he's out there at the moment. He's already getting involved with people that are pitting or lapping, and he finds himself 6.3 seconds ahead of Zucchetti. And remember, Zucchetti and the other guys were just really involved in that fight. It's just going to be holding them up all race long. And that's allowing Alfie, not saying his pace isn't going to do that, but that is going to allow him to move away without a doubt. So, what's going on there? So Kill finds himself up into 4th. Chris Carr is 5th, he's 3 seconds down the road. Dippolito and Tadima, looks like they've had an instant. Just got 2 yellows on those guys, but they're still going for it, which is good news. So, in terms of positional gains and losses, let's give you guys some information. So, Alfie started 1 and his first. Zucchetti started 6th. He's had 4-place gain at the moment. Chris Vining was 11th. He's gone up 8 spots. Keel was 13th. He's gone up 9. Chris Carr was 14th. He's gone up 9. Dippolito has dropped a couple of places. Tadima's gone up a couple. Kerekes has gone up 4. And Camara, that's impressive. He started 16th and has got himself up 7 places currently. Nachira's gone down 3. And Ogimet, do you know what? Let's have a look at Ogimet. He's gone up races. Let's have a look at him. So, Odgemets in Kolb Sim Racing in the number 11 Audi. Last lap of 58.5. Finds himself in 11th place. He's in the AM class, so he's currently 3rd in class there. That is very nice. So we've got people completing pit stops at the moment. We will get to that. So Dave finds himself down in 23rd place at the moment, which is a real shame for him. He's done pretty well actually the last couple of races. I know he's just waiting just to get a little run together. We know he's quick, but as Jamie says, he's done a Dave. It's unfortunate. So Kerikez, he looks like he's putting on some pressure. We'll have a look at Zap down code in a moment. Kerikez, there he is. So Kerikez, yes, nice. Okay, let's get on board. Let's have a look at that into turn 1. So Kerikez in his Bentley is looking to put quite a bit of pressure onto Tadima there. Tadima's in 7th place in the number 3 Beamer. A couple of flashes of brakes. We're talking half a second there. Look at that. See the tail wagging on that Beamer then, and you saw it laying down the rubber as well. I absolutely love this simulator. The attention to detail is epic. There's no other way to describe it. It puts a smile on my face every single day. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. So close battles at the moment. Dippolito battled back up to 6th place. That's a fantastic effort from him. He's under a second behind Carr. Not any Carr, Chris Carr, obviously. Kerikez goes for a little bit of a dive up the inside of the hairpin. I don't think he was intended to actually try and make a move there. More so just to, just to let Tadima know that he's there and feeling racy, trying to get into his cycle. We've got some dust being kicked up there. Wow, Tadima. So Tadima, I think, was unsighted by the dust that was just kicked up, I think, from Dippolito. The cheer's got himself a 15-second time penalty there, which is, well, that's not going to please him. So yeah, I think Tadima was definitely unsighted by that dust being kicked up, especially given the lack of, well, vision, with it being at night. Probably took his eye off the ball for a moment. He then got a bit out of shape on those curbs, and probably had his foot planted, and by that point that back end was, well, she wasn't playing, was she? We saw at the beginning of the lap she was trying to fight with him. So Kerikez moves up into 7th place. Dippolito, he's looking to put a challenge on Chris Carr. So we've got the 104 McLaren versus the 68 Porsche at the moment. Remember, Dippolito qualified 4th, ended up 1st, then got himself all out of shape, had a little love tap, and I think ended up back in sort of 10th, 12th place. He's fought his way back up to 6th. So it's evidently carrying some strong pace around here. We're almost 20 minutes in. So, time penalties coming through from Mr. Williams, no doubt. So Nachia's got a 15-second penalty, Kudasov's got a 15-second penalty, and Amir has also got himself a 15-second penalty, which is unfortunate. Oh, he's trying to make it. You're going to get on all the marbles there. So Dippolito, again, you know, they're all hustling, aren't they? You can see that. Everyone's hustling, looking for any advantage they can find, inside, outside, sticking the nose in, trying to outbrake. Thankfully, I haven't seen anybody flashing in terms of their lights, certainly, which is good, because with it being so dark, you probably blind the guy in front of you. But you can see how hard they're pushing, and Chris Carr goes deep. He does go deep in there. He's defending for all his might. I think he squeezed a little bit there, if I'm totally honest with you. I think he could have held his line. But that's racing. They carry on. So this is the fight over 5th place. All the while this is happening on, Mr. Keel, who is in the 34 Audi, an AM driver, may I add, is currently in 4th place. I'm very impressed with that. So Chris goes off again. He's pushing too hard. Maybe a tyre pressure thing. You know, that could potentially be affecting things. So Dippolito gets that move done and moves himself back up to 5th place. Again, it's all important. It's really important. Every race, it's an 8-round series. This is round 3. Every position matters in terms of points. So, while we're watching this, anyone else put anything in there yet? No. So Alfie is still up front, 9.4 second lead. Chris Vining is third behind Sacchetti. Chris is second at the moment, so that could develop. We've got a lot of racing left to do in this. Come off that for a second. I'm going to go and find another close battle with Galazzi. Galazzi's only 4 tenths on board with Galazzi. Let's go TV. There we go. Let's do that one. Let's see how this one develops. What's the standings at the moment, ladies and gents. So, Dipolito moved up to 5th, Chris Carr is 6th, Kerriquez is 7th, 1.5 behind. Camara is in 8th, then we've got Tadima is 9th, so he's 8.7 behind. Then we're looking at Velazzi and Nachira. Oh, Nachira's getting involved as well. So, at the moment, Velazzi's putting the pressure on Tadima, which we saw Tadima had, well, he had more than a wobble, didn't he, on the last one. Let's see if Velazzi can put on the same amount of pressure and get the same kind of response. Beamer versus Bentley again. They'll both get a good run down towards the NGK chicane. Maybe a move into the Coca-Cola curve. We'll see if that develops or not. So both on the brakes, off the brakes now. Get the car balanced, slam on the throttle. They're both taking everything through there now. Who's going to get the best drive? He's on the power. He's got a fistful of oversteer, so that's not going to help him at all. Unfortunately, obviously, we need to get on the throttle early there because you've got the start-finish straight. Velazzi flat-out racing, but he's got the toe. He is gaining. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's not. Whoa. Steady, boys. Into turn 1. Great driving from both of them. Made sure that a collision didn't happen. I'm sure we've all been there many times, and you're just waiting, aren't you? Either car, yeah, if you don't trust or know the driver, or depending on what their level is, you're in that exact moment, you're just waiting there going, here it comes, and there's nothing you can do about it. So excellent driving by these two, and a great little battle. So we'll keep our eyes firmly on this one. So Nachira is 11th. He's trying to catch up to the back of these two. Dan Whitehouse is 12th place at the moment, so he's not too far behind Nachira. We may have a look at that. We'll just want to see. Okay, he's gone up the inside on the way down to the hairpin. That looks like it could be a move. Is he going to close the door? Well, he can't. He can't cut across him. So Velazzi looked like he'd got ahead slightly there. Tadima kept the inside line going into the S. As you can see, we've got a little love tap going on there. These two are neck and neck, literally wheel to wheel, door to door. There's nothing between these two. This is fantastic racing as we come down towards the Weinsteiner curve. Oh no, the Michelin curve, and there is a little love tap. Oh dear, and Velazzi. So with that slight connection there, Velazzi ended up getting out of shape. Was trying to hold that, and quite naturally, obviously, the car snapped back on him, and he evidently then went into Tadima. Don't think it's done him too much damage, but that is certainly unfortunate. Chris Vining, worth a look. Under a second. This is for second place, remember. Let's see what it looks like from the rear wing. Let's have a look at some of the lines that Chris Vining is going to take. Let's see where he's trying to put Sacchetti out of shape. And we can obviously, we know where we are on track, so we can understand what Sacchetti is going to do. So we've got to Dan Whitehouse, didn't we? Yeah, as these two get pretty cosy down the hairpin. Nachira's 10th, Whitehouse has just made a move on Nachira there. Kudasov is 12th, Ojimex is 13th, Amir is 14th, Wilheim 15th, Stratton is 16th at the moment. He's only a second behind Wilheim, he's only just over a second behind Amir, so that's developing alright. Geordie Stratton is in 16th, he again a second behind Zach Dow, which we haven't spoken about today, has had 2 fantastic races so far this season, been in the top 2 in the AM class, is 17th. Delatour is 18th, that's 1.3 behind. Pit window is just open, so we have a 10-minute pit window now it's going to get busy. Everyone's going to dive in, get those tyres changed, fuel if they need to, depending on what strat they're running, of course, as we continue to watch this battle between Zucchetti and Viney for second and third place in the Pro Class and overall. Again, a really great view. In fact, we're going to now change that one. We're going to go on board with Chris. And we're going to have a look at the underside of that Bentley for a moment, just while I finish on going through this. Where do we get to? So Delatoire's 18th, Petrovic is 19th, 2 seconds down. Ian Thompson's 20th, only a second behind Petrovic. Belazzi finds himself down in 21st as these boys are getting pretty close. There's definitely going to be a challenge between those two soon. Jeff Colombaro's got himself up to 22nd, so that's excellent from him. Sergio Oz is 23rd. Dave Newham is 24th at the moment. Best lap, or last lap was a 58.9, and that was invalid, so maybe he's had a slight off there. Cameron Martin's 25th. Blanchett is 26th, one behind. Top Adams 27th, 1.8 down. And then we've got Wolfgang Kuhn, he's 28th. Jacko Weaponar is 29th, 1.3 off the pace. And then we've got Gardby, who, remember Gardby, I believe Gardby's in the Pro Class in Beamer, is 30th. Vendish is 31st. Castillo's 32nd, and Ryan O'Sullivan finds himself down in 33rd place. Price 34th, Michael Van Rees is 35th. That is your grid currently. So these two here are separated by about 2/10. That says 3, my screen is telling me differently. So that's pretty close. And Dippolito's only a 10th behind Keel. It looks like he might have got that move done. 1 second. Yeah, so Dippolito, he makes that move on Keel, so he now finds himself up into 4th place. He'll be glad to get that move done. Keel's not going to give that one up by the look of it, and let's hope these two don't end up, well, becoming a very colourful, well, splodge really, because those are two pretty bright liveries as they're scrapping away. Yeah, Zucchetti and Vining, they are not giving that one up, are they, at the moment? No. Okay, 32 minutes left. We are well within the pit window, so there's a 10-minute pit window. Everyone's got to come in and do their stop. So you can see we have got individuals that have pitted. Tadima's pitted, Nachira's in the pits at the moment, Whitehouse has pitted, Amir's pitted, Odjamets has pitted, Delatoire, Thompson, Velazzi, no doubt below them in the grid, have all completed their stop. So they're now going to try and see if they can run in free air and hope they've got the right setup. Yeah, hope those tyre pressures are good. Obviously we are at night time, so I'm assuming the weather's going to be cooling. So if no amendments have been made to those tyre pressures, that could have fairly detrimental consequences. I'm sure they'll all get it right though. So Wilhelm Stratton and Zachdal, they all fly into the pits to get their stop done. So Keel currently leads the AM class and is 5th overall. Camara is 2nd in class, really great drive from him at the moment, 8th overall. And then Petrovic, and Zucchetti's lost it. Zucchetti totally lost it there. Got a big swapper on, managed to collect it, so he's still running, albeit has lost that place, but he's still running, so it's a good job they've got themselves a bit of a gap back. It's only 23 seconds to Dippolito, so even though Zucchetti had that issue there, he's not going to lose that place if he decides it's time for me to get myself some new shoes. So in the pits he comes. Let's have a look at Alfie Barron. He's still up top at the moment, doing a stellar job. He's increased his lead to 15.7 seconds pretty much. So Zucchetti pits from 3rd. That's going to potentially allow Dippolito to move himself to the place. Well, that individual certainly got out of the way, didn't they? Yeah, I think that was a blue flag issue there, and there's getting out of the way, and then there was getting out of the way. But no harm, no foul, as they say. Dipolito is in the pits, Chris Carr is in the pits, Kerekes and Camara are all in the pits. So we've got a lot of action going on down there. Keel, incidentally, has decided to stay out. So Camara's come in second in the AM class, so he's going to have fresher tyres. Keel's decided to stay out. Evidently his tyres are pretty good at the moment, so he's just trying to eke every last bit of pace he can. I assume he's running in clear air, which he will be. So, well, I say he is. I think he's got some company there. That's a Ferrari with FRL colours on it, so that's probably a new. So there you go. We are now, well, we're just over halfway in this third round of the Pure Sim Gear, the GT3 Friday Championship. Obviously put on by, well, the fantastic FRL guys. James, I hope you're enjoying yourself in the studio, mate. Let me know if you need me to do anything, you know, want me to sing you a song or anything like that, it's fine, I'll keep you happy. Always, stop and go 30s for everyone. Well, I didn't say that, folks, that's coming from James, yeah. So stop and goes for everybody. Please be nice. So Keel decides it is now time for him to pit. Kudasov has a 15-second penalty there, which is unfortunate. So the leader of the AM class comes in to complete his stop. Petrovic is still running. So only ones that haven't pitted yet. Garby's in the pits and Toff's in the pits from 14th and 15th. We're seeing Keel come in to do his stop at the moment now. So Baron hasn't pitted from first place, or Chris Vinen, he has not pitted yet either. Kudasov has come in now to do his stop, and he's going to have a 15-second penalty. Petrovic has decided to stay out. Interesting there. Right, where's our friend? Well, everyone's our friend, obviously, but Mr. Newham in his Macca, so 1:56.9 is his quickest lap to date. He's in 24th place currently. Having a bit of a mare, it's got to be said. Although you did see on the front of his car there, when the number change is ready, he's got a new car. Did you see that? Window? Brilliant. New. Oh. Yeah, I apologise, the jokes are amazing. So it looks like Alfie's coming into the pits to complete his stop. Yep, he certainly is. And Chris Vinen, so is Chris going to pit or is he going to gamble? What's Chris going to do? Pit or gamble? Is he, well, there you have it, pit. The top two are both in the pits. That means Petrovic, if he stays out, come on, stay out, Petrovic. Looks like, well, we don't know yet, it's coming up to the S's. If he stays out, he could be leading the entire race. It's fantastic. So once this is complete, we're then going to see, we've then essentially got race 2, if you like. Everyone will have done their stops, we'll see how that shakes out, and then everyone's going to be absolutely full throttle until the end. Colin Barrow has got himself a stop go 30, so he's speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately, or that was just James being evil and doing some coding on the game, which I'm sure wasn't the case. So Petrovic comes into the pits from third place. You can see Vinen's still in there at the moment, so this is all now going to start getting very interesting for us as I try and break half my good, but not the good half, so it's okay. She's a good looking Merc though, I like that livery, it's pretty classy. Well done Petrovic, I like it. So, up top, we have, well now we're in, it's interesting now because everyone's done the pit stops, we've got people in traffic. which is always going to be quite difficult. Just thought I'd show you that. I mean, there's a lot of people there. It's quite a busy track, isn't it? So we'll get rid of that. Pit window is closed. If you have not already entered the pit lane, you will end up with a disqualification, but it looks, all I can see there is green, 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 green. That's fine. Dippolito has a 5-second penalty to serve, as does Kudasov, and Chris Martin in the 27 Beamer in 23rd place finds himself with a 15-second penalty. But he looks like he wants to get a bit racy with Dave. So let's get on board and have a look as he tries to close down the number 12 McLaren. Then we've got a whole host where you can see Garby is all over the back of him, flashing away. So Garby in the 220 Beamer, he wants past. He obviously feels at this particular stage in the race that he is carrying more pace than Chris Martin. So, sorry, Chris Martin, I said that last week. Cameron, I am so sorry, Cameron. It's Chris Vining. I do apologise. Okay. BMW Sim Racing there, as you can see, his quickest time is a 1:56.855. Last lap was a 57.192, so pretty consistent there. Garby, I mean, it may be the tyres, may just be that he's carrying more pace, but I mean, he positioned himself very nicely there to get that move done into T1. So Garby moves up to 23rd. And that puts Cameron Martin, thank you, down into 24th. Vapanite is 25th. Adam is 26th at the moment with a 5-second penalty. Kuhn is 27th. Blanchett is 28th. Colombaro is 29th. And then we've got Mr. Pryor. Let's have a look at you, Mr. Pryor. So Mr. Pryor's under half a second. Obviously that says just over. Again, my screen says different. Just under half a second behind. This is the battle for 29th and 30th. Okay, and some of you will think, well, what's the point? Well, I'll tell you the point. It's what they're bred to do. You battle, you race, you give it your all for a full hour, and it doesn't matter where you are on track, you will end up having people to battle with. That's just the nature of it, and the closeness of all the chaps. Bendishoff is 31st. Looks like he's closing up behind these two. O'Sullivan's 32nd, completely outpaced. Remember, he was quickest in free practice. I think he qualified 10th, yeah, because I mentioned in the wet he was quick. And then obviously got caught up in a couple of issues. Finds himself now down in 32nd place. Castillo is 33rd, and Amir and Michael are in the pits. It looks like those two are... Well, it looks like they're sitting this one out, to be fair. Van Ries certainly is 11 laps down, which is unfortunate, but these things do happen from time to time. So, Alfie's lead at the top, just whilst we watch this battle here for 29th and 30th, obviously we like to make sure everybody gets some time, as much as I can, within the times that are available. So, Barron's up front, still in first place, he's leading by 17.8 seconds. Chris Vine is still holding second place, but Chetty is now just under a second behind him, so that could develop. We'll keep our eye on that. Dippolito, again, good comeback drive from him, where he ended up, is in fourth place. Chris Carr is fifth. Nicholas Keel, who's obviously in the AM class, is sixth, and then Kerekes is seventh. So that's 0.4. I need to have a look at that. So yeah, Kerekes, so it's Camara was the other one in there. So Tadima, you know what? Tadima's been in a lot of battles today. I don't know what happened to my voice there. He's been in a lot of fights today, and he's in another one right now. Look at him. I know. Goes to move to the right. He's on the marble, so that's going to affect the braking. You can see them both. You can see them both modulating. Then, yeah, they're both just slowing up, just releasing for half a second, and then slowing up again. And Tadima gets that move done. That was a very good move. Wow! And then he gets a big swapper on, which also you can see Whitehouse in the background in his Aston. He followed suit because they're obviously both. Well, they're on rails, aren't they, at the moment? So they're obviously watching each other as much as anything else. They've both got a swapper on, but both survive. So Tadima moves himself up to 8th place, and that drops Whitehouse down to 9th currently. And that battle at the top, let's see if that's changed. Not yet. Camara is now all over the back of. Okay, let's go now. So into the hairpin they come. Who's going to get a decent drive out of there on the way up to the Schumacher S's? There's sparks flying there, you can see. Just the lighting. I just love this simulator. So Alfie's got a really commanding lead up there at the moment, unless, touch wood, unless something terrible happens, I think, if he just stays consistent, which I'm pretty sure he can do. That'll be all good. Vining in second place. He's had a great drive tonight. He really has. He's been involved in a good couple of battles, qualified well, and has just been consistent. Zucchetti's in third. He wants that second place back. Of course he does. Whether he's going to get close enough, we've got just over 19 minutes for him to chip away. It's only 8/10. Let's see if he can find that. Dippolito's in fourth with a penalty. Carr's in fifth. Again, Keel's having a great run, you know. I mean, Keel's in the AM class. He's running sixth overall. He should be pretty happy with his run tonight. Kerekes is just behind him in seventh place in the 84 Bentley. Then we've got Tadima, who we've seen quite a lot of tonight, actually. It's been some good racing, some good exciting moments from him, gaining and losing places. Whitehouse is in ninth, who we just saw having that fight. And then we're on board at the moment with Camara in the 71 Aston, which, remember, is an AM class. So, you know, you've got AM again attacking Pro, which just shows you really good levels across these two tiers. Vilhine is 11th, so he's running third in class at the moment in the AM class. Then Zakdal's got himself up to fourth in class. So, Mr. Alex Zakdal. Let's just stay on that. Camara looks like he wants to make a move there, actually. Is he going to go for one? That would have been questionable at best if he was going to send that one. Kino's in. Good evening, Kino. I hope you're well. Got a lovely night race going on here, my friend. Some excellent driving, as you would expect. So I wanted to get aboard with Zakdal because we haven't looked at Zakdal this evening. And there we are. So Alex Zakdal in the Lexus. Now, the last two races, him and Chris Carr actually were just having amazing races. I mean, absolutely amazing races. And obviously Chris has been moved up to the Pro class, and Zakdal finds himself in a Porsche Audi sandwich at the moment, doesn't he? So he's got to keep his concentration. Obviously Kudasov's in the Pro class. We know that he's quick. And Vilhine in front, he's no slouch either, but I do feel that Zakdal's in a bit of a tough position at the moment, because I think he's probably quicker than Vilhine, going off the last 2 weeks' pace in terms of results. And obviously, I mean, that livery on that car is going to be worth at least 5 seconds a lap. So he goes for the move around the outside into T1. That's a fantastic move. Obviously, he's now going to hold the inside line into turn 2. He's just got to be patient there. Vilhine is trying to go all the way around the outside. He's trying to hold that. He's not sufficiently alongside to retake the inside line into the tight turn 4 there. So a great move done over the course of 3 or 4 corners by Zakdal. That moves him up a place. That puts him third overall in class. And you can see at the top, just to keep you aware, Zucchetti, that gap was 8/10 per second. That's now doubled to 1.6 seconds. So either Chris Vining's found a bit of extra pace somewhere, or Zucchetti's taken his eye off the ball occasionally. That is not what he wants. So we've got Lambo getting out of the way. I'm assuming that is going to be in the AM class. So Vilhine hasn't given up yet, but as you say, you've got Kudasov, who is not far off the back of these two. Not far at all. Yeah, Kino, it is. It is, mate. It is. Just keep watching. Right, some of the stuff we can see on this is, you know, just the different views, the lighting. Look, we'll go on board with Kudasov now. Again, you're getting a feeling for just how enclosed you feel in that cockpit. Yeah, obviously we shouldn't be racing in your room with tons of lights on, and you will just be in. Yeah, you will be totally in it as we come up to the NGK chicane. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there as we come up to Coca-Cola curve. It's really important, obviously, to get your braking right in there. Well, obviously nothing to see from behind. But in front, let's see if he can get close enough. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can have a little look up that Porsche there. As we come into T1, we're going to get to see all the bumps in the road now. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh my word. So Kudasov was evidently carrying a lot more speed or completely missed his braking point into T1. Wilhelm was either early on the brakes there or was bang on the brakes, and Kudasov was carrying too much. I did say let's have a little look up the backside of that Porsche. I think we got to look quite far into that Porsche by what happened there. And how on earth Wilhelm didn't take out Zagdal. I mean, that was heart in the mouth moment. All he would have seen in his rear view mirror, Zagdal would have been just light going sideways. And you can see there Kudasov has got himself a 5-second penalty, courtesy no doubt of Mr. Williams. Wow, that was very, very interesting indeed. Blimey. Let's see. Let's actually see. Has James sent me the messages yet? No. He's just eyes glued, making sure he doesn't miss a thing. Just fabulous. Right. Leaderboard. So Alfred Barron's increased his gap to 20 seconds over Chris Vine in second place. Ucchetti's now 2.6 behind. I think if there was a challenge coming there, when we last spoke about that, when it was really close, there was 90 minutes left of the race. We're now 13 and a half minutes left, and that gap is only increasing. So I think, you know, I might be wrong, but I think that challenge from Ucchetti may have passed. Dipolito, again, is running in 4th place, doing really well. He's carrying a 5-second penalty. Chris Carr's having a really good race. This is his first one after moving up from the AM class into the Pro class. So he's showing that he can certainly mix it, well, anywhere he has done in the previous 2 rounds as well. Kiel, 6th place, 34 Audi. Stellar job. Absolutely stellar job at the moment. Let's have a look at you. Yeah, we're not going to miss you. Obviously, Gamer Dad would probably like to give you a call sometime. If you don't know who Gamer Dad is, you need to have a look on the FRL YouTube and stuff like that. He's one of our coaches on the PS side of things, and he doesn't do anything other than pink. Seriously, pink. Everything is pink. I hate to go to his house. Anyway, Krekes is in 7th place, 1.9 behind. You've got to remember, Kiel's in the AM category, so his number may change to white before the end of the season. You never know. Kerekes is 7th. Tadima is in 8th place in his Beamer, 5 seconds off the pace. And then Whitehouse is 9th. Camara brings up the top 10 and is 2nd in class. So again, really great drive from you at the moment. I just need to have a little listen there. You have to love the attention to detail that they've done on the audio for this. I know, actually, in fact, the chap that I was just talking to in the live chat, Kino, we were saying when we met at Brand's a couple of weeks ago, when everyone was clambering to buy every last single piece of Rossi, merch available. I've never quite said anything like that. And he was just saying that sometimes when we're doing our race nights, we would just sit in the pits. I don't mean during the race. I mean, when it's free practice or when we're qualifying, just sit in the pits and just listen. And I'm like, I do exactly the same thing. The audio quality. Again, you close your eyes, you're there. Superb job. Obviously, if Kunos or anyone, at ACC is listening to this, you should be now saying, what a great guy. He's so generous. Listen to him. He really loves this game. He's talking about us for ages. Let's give him a call. Let's go on buymeacoffee.com/comms by Coots and do a little donation. I mean, who knows? You guys should have a look at that. Anyway, so Camara, as you can see now, is only... He's very, very close, isn't he? Let's go on board with that one. I thought I was going to do it again then. Every time we go onto this view, we seem to have some incidents going on. And if you look at the top, and again, this is amazing. If you look at the top at the moment of the screen, you will see every now and then a little flash. And you can see the carbon fibre on the top of that split out, yeah? You can see all the reflection of the lights and when it breaks. That absolutely amazing. He sparks the whole lot. It's fantastic. And what a great battle these two are having. Remember, Camara here in the Aston, he in the 71 Aston, is currently second in class with the AM. Dave White, Mr. Whitehouse, sorry, in his Aston is in 7th in the Pro class at the moment. So all to play for, and under 3/10 separate these two as they come up into the chicane. Maybe a move could be set up here into the Coca-Cola curve. Nicely taken through there, but it just kicked up on the right hand side. Take a little bit of extra grip, hard on brakes. Let's get those trailed in and then squeeze on the throttle. Go, 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 boys. You can see both of them just a tiny little wiggle up there, tiny little wiggle on the exit of the corner. Again, we know what that means, and we've got a lot of dirt going on there, so I'm assuming someone's gone fully off. So let's see if oh yeah, you've got a slow mover there. That was a deep move by Camara. That didn't come off. He tried to do that, maybe tried to get a little bit of a switch back. That didn't happen as we go into turn 2. Both obviously closing down. So and that good driving, that individual decides I don't want any part of this. These two look pretty close. Decides to get out of the way. Pretty close battles that we have at the moment. Kutsoff is a second behind Zach Downs. Zach Downs got himself up to 11th place. Phil Hine is now in 13th as we stay on board his battle. Let's look at it from that side. Who said they didn't like racing at night time? Look at it. It's absolutely amazing. So we're watching these two having a great battle at the moment. Velazzi's got himself back up to 14th place. You remember he qualified joint second exactly the same time as Nachira, and then we had that incident into T1 which probably got initially 3 or 4 cars involved. It was probably more like 7 or 8 with the concertina effect that had. Ojimets is in 15th place at the moment. Stratton is in 16th, 1.3 behind him. Nachira's got himself back up to 17th. Petrovic is 18th. Oz is 19th. Garby's running in 20th place in the 220. And then we've got Delatois is 21st. In fact, it was Delatois who said in the paddock earlier on today about this race was purely about survival. So I just came back to my memory. Dave Newham is 22nd at the moment. Obviously not having the best race of his life. Potential for a good race, did a good start, managed to get himself from 20th, I think, back up to 9th, was having a great run, and then evidently, as GT Jamie pointed out in the live chat, did a Dave, and he's now obviously trying to fight his way back through. Blanchet's 23rd, Vaponar is 24th, Vendishoff is 25th, let's have a look at who all, but this battle's getting juicy. Vendishoff is 25th, Fly is 26th, Kuhn 27th, Columbaro's got himself up to 28th. We've got 3 there, all within a second of each other. They need to be looked at. 25th through to 29th. O'Sullivan is 29th. Top Adam is 30th. Then Castillo is 31st. And Amir is in the pit. So we have had, according to this, 2 or 3 that have left the servo, which is unfortunate. We shouldn't really be doing that. This battle, basically, let's get on board with Camara. So he's got Tadima just behind him. And we know that Tadima has been involved in some really great battles so far today. All these 3 find themselves 8th, 9th and 10th battling out. Everyone wants to be in the top 10. You've got to go for a top 10 finish. There's only 6 minutes left of this race. Who's going to have the tyres? Who's going to have the mental fortitude to stick at it? It's hard work racing at night time. It takes a lot out of your brain. We shall see how this one develops. But whilst that is happening, I did say there was another battle going on here. Vendishoff and Kuhn. Yeah, there you go. So we haven't looked at this chap yet. So Vaponar, there you go. As we're getting a move done there. So Vendishoff manages to make that one stick. We've got a gaggle of 5 together at the moment. I did say there was a close battle going on. As we see Vaponar lose that position to Vendishoff in his 800 McLaren. Good Smile Racing. Wow. Jacko, what a great name. Happy Team. Nice livery, by the way. I like that. Latour has been, Delatour's been involved in the instant now. Yellow flag for him. And he's got back going again. So Wolfgang Kuhl is the next one who's looking to try and make a move on Rapidar. He's in team lapped. That's positive. That is positive. The only, well, you can only get better from there, no doubt, in the Lexus. Again, incidentally, please have a look at my channel, COMMS by Coops, that you're watching on at the moment, or if you're on Twitch, have a look at the YouTube channel, COMMS by Coops. There is a series on there called Coops Cars. Episode 9 was the Lexus. Episode 10, which I've just done, is the McLaren. Worth a look. Little bite-sized guide on each of the cars. Let me know what you think. Mr. Firth, yes, indeed. Coop, I know, mate. Hello, Floppy Fox. How you doing? Was in an FRL race yesterday at Zandvoort. Yes, yeah. Tried M4 for the first time. Set off in a warm-up and blew my engine. Did you really? No, that wasn't. No, that wasn't what I think it was. Well, at least you tried the M4, mate. That's all good to know. Good to know. Welcome, though. It is a very, very good race. We're actually looking at a scrap at the moment, down into the mid-20th. So there's been a lot going on. There has been a lot going on. Alfred Barron, though, a commanding lead, still 23 seconds out in front. Pole position, led from lap 1, really. Chris Vining's put up a valiant effort to try and keep that gap relatively close. It's been eking out slightly, and then Zucchetti, him and Chris were having a really good battle, and obviously that has now stopped. He's 6.2 off the pace. Dippolito still in 4th. He's got a 5-second penalty, but importantly, he's 9.7 seconds ahead of Chris Carr in 5th place. So currently, he will keep 4th. So that, I feel, is pretty important. Keel, again, standout driver at the moment in the AM class, qualified pole in the AM class. He's currently still running 1st in the AM class and 6th overall. Then we've got Kerekes, who looks like he wants to get involved, doesn't he? Kerekes from AK Racing, shots fired and all that, is in 7th at the moment. Let's go on board again. Oh, interesting. Well, that is right in front of the car. Someone's got the binoculars out. Look at that. Let's not do that, dude. That isn't one of my favourite ones, actually. So just under 2.5 minutes left of this race. It's been an absorbing race, I have to say. This hour has absolutely flown by, which is what we love. Definitely what we love to see. Is it me, or just the lights on that Audi look a little bit more punchy than on that Bentley? Aston, sorry. No, the Bentley even. They definitely look brighter, or maybe it's just the pink of the cars reflecting them. Oh no, Kamara. Oh, there we go. We've had an issue there. Can we get a replay on that? Yeah, we can. Yeah, so he just wandered straight off the track and then, ouch. So we saw that's an actual replay of what happened there. That was really unfortunate. And these two are now side by side as Alfie Barron starts his final race. You can see Dippolito's got a 5-second penalty. Keel's now got himself a 5-second penalty. Kudasov's got a 20-second penalty. Dima's got 5. Galaxy's got 5. Petrovic has a 15-second penalty. So James Williams in the live stewarding box has evidently kept himself quite busy. Garage rejoined start from the pits. Now Aston is going for poor lights. It's weird, isn't it? Very weird. So let's go on board with Mr. Alfie Barron. Let's enjoy his final lap. Yeah, give him a little flash there. Down the start finish straight. He's obviously wanted to make sure that nobody's going to get in his way. Wants to get this done nice and clean. Currently holds the fastest lap for the race as well. A 1:54.547. And holds all the fastest sectors as well. So, well done. Amazing. Viney still second, Zucchetti third, Dippolito fourth. Anything really close that could happen. So Zach Dahl in 12th is only half a second behind to Dima, so we should keep an eye on that in case that moves. And Geordie Stratton is actually only 3/4 tenths behind Nachira. So again, I think I have noticed a pattern in the last two races. Nachira's Audi, she does seem to fade towards the end of each race. Now whether that's a tyre setup issue, I don't know, or maybe it's a driver issue. Again, I don't know, but I have noticed she does fade and get pretty leery towards the end of each race that we've been fortunate enough to watch so far, really. So, the last few corners left. Let's see how it should be done. Fantastic drive by Alfie. I did say at the top of the show, someone had been whispering in my ear that he's pretty quick, and I've seen him in action previously a long time ago and was impressed at Suzuka, and yeah, that is a very good effort from him this evening to come through the Coca-Cola curve for the final time. We have to say congratulations to Alfie Barron. He's going to cross the line and take the win. Well done, my friend. Excellent driving from you this evening. Well done. Eclipse Racing Esports. They certainly did eclipse everybody else, like I called at the start of the show. Well done, Alfie. Excellent run, my friend. Excellent run from you. Well, that is very interesting. So let's go back now. So Chris Vining, he's just coming up. He's going to take the line. Let's see where else is close. Kirkes is a second. Fadima, and right, let's go on board with Vilazzi. So Vilazzi, in front we've got Vilazzi, Zach Dow and Tadima, 11th, 12th and 13th. You can see they're all pretty tightly packed. Vining's crossed the line to finish second place. Well done to you, Chris, and Zucchetti has taken third. There is your podium. Well done, gents. Excellent racing this evening. Well earned, all of you. Because we're going to watch this battle through to the end, because we've also got a back marker in there, and you can see, I think Villine, that's not Villine. Might be actually. He's coming, no, he's not. He's in the pits, coming up pretty close behind as well. Ippolito finishes in 4th place. Chris Carr in 5th. Keel, fantastic from Keel, finishes 6th overall. And everybody, what is going on here, guys? Everybody's lobbing stones at each other. It's getting a little bit feisty going into the last couple, of corners. So enjoy. That needs to be ahead of you. We need to get a whole lot of this. So we'll guess who it is in there in a moment. But Keel crosses the line in 6th place, first in class in terms of the AM class. Kirkes 7th, and then we've got Whitehouse, Kudasov, Tadima, Camera, Zakdal, Vilazzi. We're watching these guys all at the moment scrapping it. Oh, that was not good. That was not a good move at all. That was really unlucky, actually. And they're all going to cross the line together. Fantastic racing. Well done. So Kirkes finishes 7th, Whitehouse 8th, Kudasov 9th, Tadima finishes 10th. Obviously decides to take the wall out, as you do. I mean, that's what you do, isn't it? Where are we at? Where are we at? Yeah, so there we go. So Tadima 11th, Vilazzi 12th, Kudasov 13th. We have got some time penalties. No further chat from drivers until after the race. Yes, boys, please listen to Mr. Williams. Vilheim 14th, Nachira 15th. Stratton finished 16th. Ogimet 17th. Oz finished in 18th. Dave Newham came back in the end and finished 19th. So not his best night, but well done for that comeback drive. Petrovic 20th. Delatour 21st. Gardby and his Beamer finished 22nd. Blanchett 23rd. Vendishoff 24th in the McLaren. Ryan finished 25th. Vapinar 26th. Excellent drive from you. First time I've seen you. O'Sullivan finished 27th. Probably not happy with that at all. Blitz free practice. Qualified 10th. Was probably waiting for the rain. Got involved in that incident in T1, I do believe, and maybe another. And ended up being pushed back to the rear of the grid. Kuhn 28th. Columbaro 29th. Castillo in the Lambo finished in 30th. And then Toth Adam 31st. Ian Thompson 32nd. Cameron Martin then obviously didn't complete, I don't think, 33rd. Amir didn't in 34th. Van Rees certainly didn't, and nor did Leanwaller in 36th place. Wowza, guys. What a fantastic race. That was round 3. We have got 5 rounds left to go. It couldn't be tighter. I think Mr. Barron, if he's going to stay in for the season, is maybe going to start challenging the top 3 guys, which would be absolutely great to see. Well done. Congratulations. Nothing more to be said on that one. So, thank you to everybody that has watched. It's much appreciated. If you haven't, I know I say it every single time and it's boring, please do leave a like. maybe drop a sub in there if you want to see the rest of the series or any of the other comms that we do, all the other content on the channel. Thank you to James for sitting there and doing the live stewarding. Really appreciate that. Again, congrats to Alfie, Chris and Zuchetti. Great drive from you three. And we'll see you all next Friday. You can catch me on Monday and Tuesday for more live comms within FRL. And I'll be back here next Friday at 7:45. Comms by Coops, out.